Hello everybody and welcome to this month's edition of the Straight Goods. So this is going to be for September 2018. This month I did add in a couple extra bits of information. So one of the big changes I made is I did a 10-year average comparison. So what I did is I took September, so all the Septembers from 2008 until this past September, and I used that as the 10-year average. And the reason I did that instead of just all of the 10 years is because real estate is typically cyclical. So the September market is going to be different year per year than a July market or March or January. So I thought it was better to do September to September over the last 10 years. Right? So it gives us a benchmark of what Septembers have done historically. The other bit of information I added in is just a bit more of a micro level. I did September versus August, so we can see month to month what's changed in the different areas. Now, a couple disclaimers. All this information has been pulled directly from the MLS system, so realtors have access to this information, and I'm sharing that with you. Now, this information is not bulletproof for everyone. Depending on whether you're wanting to sell, buy, or invest, or whatever you're wanting to do with real estate, you're going to want to look at different numbers in the market. So you'll see that one area has jumped up 300% in the amount of deals that they've done. Well, that's because they went from having one transaction in August to having 4 transactions in September. So it can be a little bit skewed, and you can see how, I could write an article on it and have a sensational headline about how sales are up 300% in the Highlands. But it's a bit ridiculous once you dive into the numbers a bit. So when you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, please talk to your agent and really find out the numbers specific to the real estate that you are interested in doing a transaction with. Make sense? Okay, without further ado, these are the straight goods. Okay, so the CRD, as I talked about in blue, is going to be the 10-year average. So that's the last 10 Septembers. Well, including this one last month, all the way back until 2008. So that's going to be in blue. That's our benchmark that we're going to use to measure how we're doing. So total sales of 480 versus the 10-year average of 581 sales per September. So we're down 17.4% in total sales against the 10-year average. Our average sales price, however, of $717,000 compares to the 594, which is the 10-year running average, means that we have a 20.8% increase in average sales price compared to the 10-year average. That's pretty good. Total sales volume of 344.4 million is still quite healthy. And what I really want to point out on the right-hand side of your screen here, this is pulled directly off of the MLS system. And what this shows you is the number of sales per asset class is how I'm going to refer to these. So single family, detached, condo, townhouse, strata duplex, blah blah blah, tells you exactly how many of them sold and then the average sales price for that particular asset class. Does that make sense? All right, let's go. So for the city of Victoria, and now that we're down into the municipalities, I'm not doing the 10-year average, I'm just doing versus the month before, so more micro. Total sales of 104, which is still quite a lot, but we're down 15.4% compared to August. Average sales price is up 4% to $681,000, and the total sales volume is at 70.8 million, which is still a very good number. Again, on the right, you can see the numbers for the different asset classes: condos, single family, townhomes, strata duplex, revenue duplex, etc. All right, let's go to the next one. Vic West, total sales of 9. Now, because it's such a small number, even 2 sales plus or minus can create a huge percentage difference. So it's down almost 40%, and the average sales price is down only 5.7% to $568,000, and a total sales volume of $5.2 million. So Oak Bay had total sales of 13, as you can see here, 10 single family, 3 condo, average sales price 1.3 million, down 0.7% from last month, for a total sales volume of $16.9 million. Esquimalt had 22 total sales in the month of September, so they're up 10%, and the average sales price, however, dropped 24%. So how could this happen? Well, go back to the last month, and I bet that you're going to see that there was either more single family detached or there was a revenue duplex in there or something, because with a sales volume of around 20, one really big sale of $2 million can drastically affect the average sales price. The total sales volume for Esquimalt, $11.9 million. View Royal had 14 sales, so dead even with last month, and the average sales price was $750.6 million, up 57%, likely because there was 10 single-family detached. Total sales volume, $10.5 million. Saanich East had 77 total sales, average sale price of $884,000, and a total sales volume of $68 million. Saanich West had 38 sales, average sales price $708,000, total sales volume $26 million. Average sale price is up 8.9, total sales up 11%. This has been a fairly stable market. Now, Souk had a lot more activity than last month, so they're up 57% for total sales of 33. Their average sales price, fairly similar, $463,000, but their total sales volume obviously had a big jump to $15.2 million. Langford total sales dropped to 68, but the average sales price was up to $555,000, so their total sales volume $37.7 million. So one of the things you can see here on the right, again doing a bit of a deeper dive, why is the average sales price only $555,000? Well, there was 4 mobile home sales that month, right? So manual single wide, the average $118,000, manual double wide, average $151,000. So that can really bring down the average sales price. So again, numbers can be a little bit misleading. Machosen is just a bit slower of a market, so they only had 2 total sales representing a 30% drop, but their average sales price of $1.012 million represents a 18% increase. Again, take it with a grain of salt because there's only 2 sales to really judge this off of, and the total sales volume $2.025 million. Colwood had 23 total sales, average sales price $652,000, and a total sales volume of $15 million. Highlands. So Highlands had 4 total sales this month, representing a 300% increase in sales, which sounds awesome. But it's really not that big a deal. The average sales price $1.018 million, total sales volume $4 million. North Saanich had 9 total sales, down 35%. Average sales price $879,000, which represented a 43.7% decrease. Again, if you go back though, I'm not sure that any condos actually sold in North Saanich last month, so that will drop the average sales price quite significantly. Total sales volume of 7.9 million. Sydney, 20 total sales, so they're down about 26%. Average sales price is up 12%, $681,000. Total sales volume 13.6 million. But you can see more than likely that 12%, a good portion of that's going to be because on the right hand side towards the bottom, revenue duplex. So they sold a revenue duplex for $1.1 million during the month of September. For those of you who don't know what a revenue duplex is, that's a non-stratified duplex. So you could live in one side and rent out the other, or strictly investment, rent out both sides, but you can't sell one side of it and not sell the other. It's non-stratified. It is one property, one title. Central Saanich had 19 sales and an average sales price of $956,000. Total sales volume $18 million. And you can see their average sales price actually would have been higher, but there was a mobile home that was sold that month. The Gulf Islands, total sales 25, average sales price $801,000, even with a recreational property, 3 of them, only selling for average of 81 grand, and a total sales volume of 20 million. Now, full disclosure, I was not a Gulf Islands believer until I really started diving into numbers over the last several months, but the Gulf Islands really has it going on. Thank you for watching this month's edition of The Straight Goods. Look, if you found this video interesting or helpful in any way, please help me share this video with your family and friends because they might also find it valuable. or interesting to their specific situation. Now, the straight goods can give you a ballpark idea of what property is worth. But if you're looking at me and you're like, hey, Colvin, you know what? I know that in my area, real estate prices are roughly X for a single family home. Does that mean that's what my home's worth? Probably not. So what you're going to want to do, reach out to me, reach out to your realtor, whoever, get a professional involved, because it is our job to dive deeper into the numbers specific to your property to give you a more accurate representation of what the value of your property is. Does that make sense? Awesome. Thank you for watching The Straight Goods, and I'll see you next time. Bye.